Oh, here comes a sick one.
Ronnie and Paul breaking things down. We're all washed up on the whole down.
Welcome to The Hole Down, the show about surfing that celebrates the wildest characters and the biggest moments. It all goes down right here. It's good to be back. Another season in the bag.
We made it. Season 2, Ronnie. I can't believe we didn't win an Oscar or an Emmy or a Logie or something for the last step, but you know what? Mum reckons we did all right, so that's good enough for me.
Good on you, Mum. Well, I'm Ronnie Blakey, WSL commentator and also a former ambassador for the Peak Flame wet shorts, made famous originally by Shane Powell. They were great.
Oh, you look good in them too, Ron.
Yeah, I think we've got a shot here too. With me is my co-host, Vaughan Blakey, a 25-year veteran of the surf industry. He's also one of the co-hosts on the very famous podcast, Ain't That Swell? Make sure you check it out.
Swellians.
All right, we want to thank Rip Curl for getting behind this episode, and we also want to thank Surf World Gold Coast for hosting us in their beautiful museum.
Love the surf history, Ron. Smells like an old wetty, but it's pretty good in here.
It sure does, it sure does. This episode is going to be a very special one of the true characters of the sport. He draws traditional lines, but is freakishly creative. He's one of our favourites for Mason Ho.
Mason Ho. Fair dinkum, mate. If the best surfer in the world is the guy having the most fun, Mason Ho tops the list. He has just so much talent to burn. He's got the guts and a natural sense of showmanship that make him a must-watch guy. But more than anything, every wave Mason catches is the best wave of his life. He reminds us how fun it is to go surfing.
You guys know how the show works. We're going to be counting down our top 5 reasons why Mason Ho is so magical. Yes, number 5 on our list of the contributing factors to the brilliance of Mason Ho was always going to be family.
How many legends can you chock into one family? Fair dinkum.
Imagine what dinner's like.
Oh, mate, it's hectic. Let's go through the list, shall we? First, Derek Ho, Hawaii's first ever world champ. Kidding me? Pipeline master. He's at one end of the table. Sitting next to him, Dad, Mike.
Oh, Mike, hot master,
Yeah,
triple
hot.
crown champ, pass the
Hello.
potatoes.
Exactly. Then you've got your sister Coco Ho, one of the greatest surfers on the women's CT at present. And there's Mason sitting there, hogging the roast, cutting into the crackling. Mate, those guys have no chance of getting a feed.
You can tell where he's going to get obviously the advice on equipment. He's got respect for that traditional approach to surfing. He'll step up to a big board and huge surf, and mate, I just love it. It's so stylish, and the family, they seem to all have one thing in common too, and that is just a full-blown aloha spirit. And you want to know another cool little story, Warner? At the last Freshwater Pro over at Kelly's Surf Ranch, Michael Ho was given a wave and he absolutely tore it apart, got completely barreled on the inside in front of the world's best surfers and got a standing ovation.
Not just that, Ron. They split screen Mike and Coco surfing, and you could just see the familiarity in the styles. They absolutely looked on point together. And I think that's the magic of the Ho family. They live it, they breathe it, they surf it with all their heart. That's the spirit of aloha, and that contributes to the magic of Mason.
Well, what a great way to kick things off here on the Hole Down. Season 2 is underway.
Yes.
Stay with us. After the break, we'll dive into our number 4.
We're all washed up on the whole down.
Oh, here comes a sick one.
Ronnie and Paul breaking things down. We're all washed up on the whole down.
Welcome back to the Hole Down. Today on the show, we're exploring the magic that makes up Mason Ho. We've already spoken about family. Now we're going to reveal number 4 on our list.
4!
Rock hopping. Mason, not just creative with the surfing that he does, but the destinations in which he's willing to tackle.
Mate, he should have been a geologist or a prospector or something, because the guy is constantly mining rocks for little nuggets of gold. I can't believe some of the waves that he actually attempts to surf. They're not surfable. They're mad.
Yeah, so many good waves on the north shore of Oahu in particular. And this is where Mason does most of his novelty fossicking. He just finds so many little gems. And yeah, they're waves that, there's plenty of waves that people don't want to surf on the north shore, but the waves that he is surfing are ridiculous. Mate.
Well, to give you a bit of an idea of just how ridiculous some of the waves that Mace surfs are, whenever we go away on the search, I've been away on a few trips with Mick and Mason. Name drop. Sorry, no more name dropping. He'll look at a lineup and just go, let's go surf that. And everyone else is just looking at him going, are you mad? That's not a wave. That's just a rock sticking out of the ocean. It's mind-blowing. But on the flip side of that, he's always in the tube, because when a wave comes out of deep ocean and breaks on a shallow ledge, you're gonna get pitted.
Hello?
Ronnie!
Mick Fanning. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm going good.
Mate, hey, we're talking about Mason. You couldn't have rung at a better time. Hey, tell us about Mason's just complete disregard for his own personal health.
Mate, it's ridiculous. He thinks these waves are really fun and just doesn't really care about his own body. He just wants to bounce off rocks and have a good time doing it.
Beautiful. Thanks for calling.
Wait, I'm not...
That's enough talking. Mason Ho tackles rock breaks like nobody else. Let's roll some vision.
So there you have it. Mason Ho, he eats up rocks like most people eat chocolate cake. Let's go to number 3.
It's not often we get to see Mason Ho wearing the competitive jersey, but when we do, we always get magic moments. And number 3 on our list is his performance in the Eddy. Mind-blowing.
Absolute mind melter. This was huge year for the Eddy. Monster surf. They almost ran it a couple of weeks earlier when a giant double-up swell hit the North Shore. It was washing babies in carriages across the Cam Highway.
Oh, thank God for Kelly Slater.
Oh, thank God for Kelly Slater. Saves everyone again. It was just crazy how big this year was.
It's just ridiculous, mate. It is one of the biggest sporting events in the world.
100%.
Having a look now, trying to control the takeoff, looking like could have been Mason Ho.
Mason Ho is kind of dropping in right at the apex. Look how massive that wave is as we lose them in the whitewash in front.
As we see a solid one setting up again for Mason.
There's not much of Mason Ho. He's not a big guy.
He's not, but he's got a ticker the size of Oahu, and the craziest thing is, in that heat, one of the biggest sets of the entire day came through. Mason turns around, spins. Who's on the inside? Clyde Cow. Yeah, baby. That's just unbelievable.
Mason Ho on a gigantic wave. And hold your breath, people. That was a horrific wipeout.
Let's get Mason's take on that wave. I think we dial him up right now. Hello, Mace.
Ronnie and VD. What up, boy?
Yeah, mate. Yep, it's all about you this episode. Mate, we just want you to take us through that dream ride, near perfect ride that you had at the Eddie. What was it like paddling in to that absolute tower?
Yeah, I just remember looking at Uncle Clyde Cow and just being like, "What's up, Uncle?" And he just kind of looked at me like, "Now's not the time to say what's up, Grom." Or that's what I thought when I seen him. So I was like, okay, I'm going on these bombs no matter what. And then the thing just happened to be a little bigger than I expected, but I was going no matter what.
All right, Mace.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Appreciate
All
it.
right,
Bye-bye.
feeling out
Stay
there,
tuned to the
but-
Hold Down. Good man.
Definitely.
What a champion.
Legend. And you know what? Waimea Bay still holds its place as the king of all big wave spots. And when you put in a performance like Mason did at the Eddie that year, you are a dead set legend for life.
Yes. Stay with us. So much more to come on this episode of The Hold Down.
We're all washed up on the whole down.
Oh, here comes a sick one.
Ronnie and Paul breaking things down. We're all washed up on the whole down.
Welcome back to The Hold Down. Today we are just celebrating the magic of Mason Ho. We've already talked family Vaughan. We talked rock hopping. We talked about his amazing performance in the Eddie Big Wave Invitational. But now it's time to reveal our number two. Yes, number two for us is all about Mason's performances at the Pipeline.
Mate, Hawaii, Pipeline, the two are one and the same. When you grow up a Hawaiian surfer, you have got to have a game at the pipe. And let's look at it. Derek Ho, Pipeline Master, World Champ, your uncle, your dad, Pipeline Master. Mason Ho was never not going to have game at the pipe.
I remember a couple of years ago when the Pipe Masters went on hold because it was too big. Pansies! And Mace paddled in.
He said that.
Grabbed the big board and he tucked into some absolute gems. Proper, memorable pipe classics.
And another thing that is worth touching on just while we're talking about Mason Ho and pipe is that he really does find that classic Hawaiian line that all the great stylists had out there. Jerry Lopez, Rory Russell. I mean, these guys knew how to have fun and really experience that chamber of secrets. Harry Potter style, the magic of Mason. It's all coming to me, Ron.
Mate, I guess the big thing about pipe is that it doesn't matter how good a surfer you are. Sometimes you get out in a wave that's scary, it's going to kind of take away your ability to express yourself on the ride. You're going to lose a bit of that creativity.
Not Mason.
For plenty of people, it's just all about survival. Mason, even if he is scared, you don't see it.
No, not Mason. He is so comfortable out there. He doesn't disrespect the wave. Don't mistake all that playfulness for not knowing how serious that wave is. But he really has to express himself. There's too much wave face. There's too much time. He's having a ball. And that's why we have Pipeline and Mason at number two.
Yep, there's a certain magic that unfolds every time Mason Ho paddles out at the Pipeline, and he's due for a huge result at the Pipe Masters. You heard it here first on The Hold Down.
Back at it.
Stay with us. After the break, we'll uncover number one on our list of things that make Mason Ho so magic.
We're all washed up on the whole down.
Oh, here comes a sick one.
Ronnie and Vaughn breaking things down. We're all washed up on the whole down.
Welcome back to the Hold Down. Ronnie with Vaughn, and today we're talking about the magic of Mason Ho. Before we reveal number one on our list, let's sit back and enjoy some magic vision of one of our favourite surfers.
Well, if you didn't already love Mason, I'll bet you do now. But that's nothing compared to what we're going to see at number one.
Yes, number one on our list. It's all about the evolution of Mason and what he brings to surfing, and his barrel riding, backhand in particular, in the recent Rip Curl Search flick, absolutely set the world on fire.
Mate, who is this guy? Is he Rick James? Is he James Brown? Is he jiving? Is he disco? Where is he? He is just so fruity in the tube. It is unbelievable. This guy is taking backside tube riding to a level that we have never seen. And I'm telling you, it is functified. The dude is flaring.
Unbelievable. And the coolest thing about it is it's functional. It's not fashion over function, it's function plus fashion.
It is.
And it works.
It is. And here's the crazy thing. When you watch this guy do what he does, it is completely in the moment. But I will tell you this, he knows what he's doing. He lies in bed at night thinking about different ways to bend his body, to shift things, to get different speed, to release, to catch, to ride the tube deeper and further than anyone in human history. And at Red Monkey Full Moon, that epic Rip Curl movie directed by me, Ron.
What a great job.
You beauty! But it was unbelievable what we were seeing when we were editing that footage, because I was like, what is going on here? I don't understand. Brain not compute. Meltdown.
It's crazy because you'd think that every single technique would have been explored already, but Mason's still reinventing the wheel. He's still finding new ways to do things.
And here's the magic of the search, because it brings Mick Fanning into this whole frame of what Mason's doing. Because when we see these two guys together, Mick with Mason, you guys just blow my mind. You're completely different, but you actually froth each other out. And yeah, when we look at this footage, it's worth watching the two of them together, because Mick at big, heaving, angry, alpha male waves just absolutely sends it, and so does his little mate Mason. It's unreal to watch, and I reckon we should have a quick look at this clip now.
Beautiful eyes swimming in your eyes. I see the color of an ocean in you. Dead night, moonlight. I see the color of an ocean in you.
Unbelievable vision there of Mason, fun to celebrate. Just what makes him so magic and one of our favourite surfers.
He's a fantastic bloke. He's a fantastic surfer. He comes from a fantastic family. That's as good as it gets. More Mason Ho in your life.
Bring it on. Well, that was a fantastic way to kick off this season. Make sure you tune in next week for episode 2 of The Hold Down.